truck. I'm gonna walk a mog now. Say a little prayer before I begin. Wait to see if anybody joins me today. I have people who tell me to inbox them before I go live, but I really don't have time to do that as I'm going through looking for an apartment for myself. Going through being sick, working through all the tests that are thrown at me, self-doubt, wondering if yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see if anybody joins me. If nobody joins me, then well, I guess nobody was meant to hear the messages that were supposed to be brought out today. Again, I don't claim to know anything. I only give the messages that are delivered to me through the spirit world, and I do my best to translate from energy. And so I'm also open to correction, always open to correction, always open to learning new things. Hello, Marilyn. Always open to gentle teachings. Be gentle with me. I grew up with teachings that were just like right in your face, like you got to do this and you do that and you don't ask questions, you just do it. And it's like, well, it made no sense to me. Why do we do this? And so taking that the way I was raised when we were forced to do things, you know, and I know that's a product of the residential school system, right? I learned to do my best to be gentle in my teachings, be gentle in delivering messages. And I know it's hard sometimes, but we have room for error. We have room to make mistakes. We have room for growth all the time. And this is something, you know, I have to give that back to myself as well. And understand that I have room to grow. Because if I don't learn from experience, how am I going to do the job? How am I going to do what I do today if I don't know what I'm doing? If I haven't been there and I don't have my own experience to share. So, hi, yeah, thank you. I made it more vivid. I look really sick today because I didn't sleep till 7 o'clock this morning, but I'm alive. I went through, I had a really horrible night. Holy crap, I had a horrible night. Like I thought I was going crazy. I was literally hearing voices telling me, and I'm like, what the frick? And then another thing too that, and this is just my belief system, right? This could change. I found a fly flying around my house really slow, and that shows me, and that's something that I've appointed to show me that someone's talking shit about me. And of course, there's always someone talking, you know, shit about me. Like it's not a perfect world. I'm not perfect, but it showed me that this actually got in when I was being vulnerable. So times that we can be vulnerable are times when we're in pain, times when we're grieving, times when we just suffered a breakup, times when we had an argument, times when we've been betrayed, times when we find out, especially even when we gossip, those are times when we're very vulnerable because that's opening the doors to spirits, you know, nasty little things that can get in and penetrate, you know, your aura, your chakras, whatever you call them, and be able to take advantage of you, right? So this is why we got to do our best to keep our energy levels high, our frequency high, you know, not gossiping about people, you know, not going behind people's backs and saying, oh yeah, smiling to their faces, and then going around and saying, oh, that person did this. That's one of the lowest forms of energy, because that's our mouths are medicine, right? So what happened the other day here, I heard something that really brought my energy level down. Someone that I loved and trusted again, and this seems to be happening a lot with me lately. Somebody I love and trust. I hear something else about them, and it's just totally different than what I expect from people, right? So I'm learning to lower my expectations and just keep people at arm's length, and maybe that's a good place for me to be right now, right? I still love everybody, you know, I still love you, right? I'll take care of you if you're stuck somewhere. I'll still do the readings, because that's my job, right? And I can't take it personally. But it really brought my energy levels down, and I was stressed. Also, I became really stressed. And then I have like this constant pain that I've been going through since I really opened up to do this work. And that was adding a lot of stress to me too. That was adding me, it was making me more vulnerable to lower frequencies, right? So I ended up getting sick. So last night I was up till 7 o'clock this morning. I couldn't sleep because I was just, you know, stressing out. I was crying. I was in pain. I was having these nightmares every time I close my eyes, and I'm sweating, and I'm got these cold chills, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm in a bathroom. I thought maybe, you know, I'll smudge out my house. Maybe I'll drink some I made some rat root medicine. Finally, my fever broke. Oh my God. Never, ever, ever underestimate those medicines, eh? And so when I got up this afternoon, I got up at about 12 finally, and I got up and I felt good. I felt fine. And I was kind of dreading waking up feeling depressed, because that's how I've been waking up lately, feeling really sad. So I woke up this morning feeling extra amazing, and I realized that what I went through the night before is a gift. Okay, Carmen, you went through that night. You guys ever watch that movie? I think it's called Evil Dead, where he has to survive the night in like this really creepy haunted house or something, or a graveyard. I can't remember. I don't know. It's a crazy show. But he survived the night. That's how I felt this morning. And I woke up this morning and I really looked at it. And what the grandfathers told me, they kind of stand there with their arms crossed. They look at me and they're like, so you're awake, eh? And I'm like, yeah, I'm awake. Thank you. Go smudge. Okay, so I get up and I go smudge. And they're like, you know why you went through what you went through last night? And I'm like, why? Like, what? You know, I was kind of grouchy. I'm like, why are your grandfathers so mean to me? And they're like, we're not mean to you. You're the one who chose this. Yuma, you know, you're the one that chose this path in life. And so I sat there and I'm smudging. And when I smudge with sage, I believe that it brings our spirits closer, because one of my elders, Stuart Amia, taught me that we don't smell good to the spirit world. We smell, you know, like breath, and we smell like, you know, maybe earwax. I don't know. But we don't smell good, right? So when we smudge with sage, it cleanses us and it brings them closer. So they came closer and they whispered to me, if you hadn't, you've been getting a little ungrateful, Carmen. We've been giving you all these blessings. We give you all these people in your life. You got a good job. You got a good vehicle. You got all these things that are coming at you. They're just little lessons for you to get through. You asked for this, they said. So you had this hard night last night, but you're still here. What did you learn from that? They said. I was like, I don't know. I'll find out during the day. I'll do some readings. No, not from readings. They said, what did you learn from that? And that's the card they showed me. You woke up and you finally gave gratitude for the day. You've been forgetting to smudge. You've been forgetting to give thanks. You're so busy worried about this woman talking about you. Kiyam, that's what it means. Let her talk, you know, because I get so what's the word? Sometimes I want people to like me, you know, and I do. I understand it's not going to be that way. But do you see the lesson there? Because I had such a difficult night, because I had so much nightmares, because I had, you know, I couldn't sleep. When I finally woke up and I felt more rested and I felt okay, it was, oh my God, I'm still here. Thank you, Creator, you know. And the Creator, and I mean, all the grandfathers were like, that's the reason. Does that make sense? You're forgetting to give thanks. You're starting to take life for granted. Sometimes we got to pull you down a bit. Doesn't mean we're going to pull you down into dark places where you're not going to find yourself. We only give you so much you can handle, but we're not pulling you there. We just show you what you're made of, right? And we bring you back to a place of gratitude. So I'm super full of gratitude today that I'm alive. I'm here, you know. I'm going to be making some cool moves here coming up. Do you remember I was telling you guys about a program that I'm putting into place? Well, I'm going to go run my pilot in the Northwest Territories next week, and I'm 47 years old. It's going to be my first time on a plane, and oh my God, I'm not feeling good about it. I'm scared. So please pray for me. I'm going on a plane. So what happened with a lot of us last night is I jumped on my phone and I had a whole bunch of people messaging me, telling me about their night. You know, 6-7 people told me they all had nightmares and things that had been happening to them the night before. That's the message. We forget to be grateful. We get so caught up in our misery and our mental health and our stress levels. And then we get to those places. That's when these negative energies are able to penetrate us. That's when gossip is able to penetrate us. That's when we feel all these, we start to look at, I guess, the dark side, right? Because it's so much easier to go that way than to realize that this is a blessing and look this way and see it more as a gift, you know, because we're so back and forth about it, right? We're like, okay, I want to see this as a gift, but how? But then the thing is, what did you lose as a result of what happened with you? Did I lose anything last night except sleep? You know, I got bags under my eyes, but I always got bags under my eyes, right? What did I lose last night? I didn't lose anything. I gained a lot of gratitude, right? So it's about us, you know, it's pulling us back to that place where we're at a higher frequency. Another thing that they told me too, when I was asking them about it, is that because a lot of us are empowered, spiritual, beautiful beings. That's what we are. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. We forget how powerful we are. We forget that we have everything in us to create a better life for ourselves. You know, we forget that we're accountable for everything that's happening around us. We chose to have these happen to us, no matter how crappy they are. And there's some, I can't think, I can't speak for everybody. Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of texts here. Oh my goodness. Another funeral. And see, that's what's happening to another funeral. And so us humans will see these funerals as a place, you know, to be sad and to grieve and to, you know, another person left us. And, you know, and when I talk to the spirits, they're looking at me like, we didn't leave you. We left our human bodies, but we didn't leave you. We're still here. And everybody's crying. Yes, of course, we're going to grieve their presence. But every time a person leaves, especially if they've had an impact on our lives, every time someone leaves to the spirit world, think about the greatest gift that they've given to you. Think about, you know, say if I passed away, right? So I'm not trying to be, you know, morbid, but say if I passed away, what would you remember about me? This would be the gift that I would give you to carry forward in life. Every time someone passes away, again, I'm just pulling cards here. That's also a gift for you, thinking of it that way, right? I heard this one guy I was reading, this older gentleman had passed away. When I got the message, you know, my first instinct was to be sad, but I was just like, oh my God, I'm so happy he passed away. And I'm not going to tell his family that, but I'm like, God, now he's finally with his wife, because he was missing her, right? That's how I see it, right? So I always offer a different way of thinking. So you woke up this morning, you're sitting here. You have a phone in your hands, right? You're blinking, you're breathing on your own, you know, and even if you're not breathing on your own, you have something that's helping you. We live in a day and age where we have all these things that are able to help us to make life easier. We have the internet on right there in front of us. We can pick and choose to see what we want with that. We can choose to go dark or we can choose to go up. It's always up to us, right? So thank you, Derek. That's cool. That's another thing I want to share too, is like, I'm just attracting healthy men, you know, healthy men who are able to just to be there for me. That's so amazing. That's something I won't take for granted, right? I have so many of them checking up on me, making sure I'm okay. I needed that, right? So just offering little teachings here and there. Another thing that came up too when I was asking today, because I offered some tobacco, asked some questions. They said, because we're so empowered, we forget how empowered we are. Back where I'm from in Saskatchewan, and I'm not speaking for all of Saskatchewan, but we really revere our elders. And, you know, it's common around the world that we do this. But the thing is, all of our elders have different gifts that they present to us. And our elders will never call themselves elders. A true elder will never call themselves an elder. A true healer will never call themselves a healer. I consider myself a helper. I help people. That's all I do. I'm like, you know, I guess a version of an Euskapios. I guess that's what, I don't know how else to translate it. I just help people. And so what I do is I share the knowledge that's given to me. And the knowledge that they gave to me was because we're so open, honest, and vulnerable, like a lot of us that are going through the nightmares. And I noticed, you know, because I've read a lot of these people that have come to me this morning, messaging me, telling me they had nightmares. All of these people, I've read them, or else another healer has worked with them, or another elder or somebody has worked with them and is empowering them to jump into their own gifts. And some of these people are scared because they're like, well, I don't know how to use my gifts. I don't know how to use my gift. I use tarot and I was scared of tarot, right? So it's about you figuring out what works for you. Because if you're going to level up, of course, these dark spirits are going to try to bring you down, right? And they're going to hit you where it hurts. So where it hurts me, what's most important to me, right? My vulnerability is helping people, right? Because so many people have helped me when I was on the streets and I was hungry and I was homeless. I was sleeping in a park bench, right? In Vancouver. I was sleeping in a little bush in Point Grey. Like, I had nowhere to sleep for a long time. But no, people didn't give up on me. And that's why I do what I do here today. I don't give a frickin' if you're mad at me or if you hate me or if you gossip to me about me. If I see you down and out, that's my job. Because people didn't give up on me, I won't give up on you, right? And that's my promise to you. And that's where they hit me, right? When I'm all vulnerable and sick. You're not worth it, Carmen. Nobody likes you, Carmen. They don't like what you have to say, Carmen. Look, only, 2 people are on your live. They don't care about you, right? They only care about you. They'll watch your live just to pick you apart afterwards. That's how much they love you. Because I know that every time I post a live, people will watch it because they show me and they'll pick me apart. Look what she's saying. She just thinks she's so knowledgeable. She thinks, look what she went through. And it's like, and I can kind of hear what they're saying, right? And it doesn't make me mad or angry and want to go, confront these people. It just makes me think like, wow, these people are, I remember I used to be like that, low level, okay? How can I bring them up in a good way? And that's why we pray for each other without knowing what, what the person's going through. There's absolutely nothing wrong with praying for people. Just stopping what you're doing and praying for people. And that's a new beginning. We don't know what our prayers are doing to help people. We don't know at all. We don't know what anyone's going through. I don't talk about my problems a lot. I go through a lot of stuff at home, but that's none of your business, because it's really easy for people to prey on that, right? So, and that's why I don't ever want to become famous. Look what happened to Diddy. Wow, look at, I don't know what happened to Diddy. I don't watch the news, so forgive me if I'm making a bad joke, but people always get thrown under the bus when they get up there, right? And I don't want that to happen. So I take things very personally. So another thing that's coming up right now too is learning to love yourself. You got to love yourself at a capacity. My bro told me, love yourself at a capacity. Take care of yourself when you're going through this stuff. Nobody knows how to take care of you but you. So as you're going through all of these dark moments, it's about you learning what works for you. What worked for me? I went for pain management today. I finally told my doctor and I begged him. I was like, come on, give me a needle or something. Like, I hate this pain. I have nerve pain, since I got the COVID shot. Since I got the COVID shot, the whole left side of my body, I don't know what happened, right? And then when I started doing the readings, it got worse and worse, right? So I couldn't sleep last night. I'm just like, writhing in pain. It's so weird. So I finally had to go ask for what I wanted, right? So, and sometimes it's hard. And, when we go through these things, we find out what doesn't work for us and we find out what does work for us in the process, right? So nothing wrong with going out and trying different things, and stop being so hard on yourself, right? I've tried so many different pain meds. It's not even funny. I even got addicted a couple times, and that's hard for me to admit, but I still do the work that I do because, Creator didn't ask for me to be, perfect, right? I'm not perfect. So what we're being shown right now too is to move forward in life, not to expect the worst, not to expect the best from anybody, but just to let them be. Let them be. Meet them at their frequency where they are, right? Every one of my readings, I've got to meet people where they are, right? I don't know what people are going through until the cards will tell me. Sometimes I can't tell people what they're going through with the cards because the grandmothers tell me to shh, don't say anything, it'll trigger them. So I got to be really careful how I talk too, right? So this is something that we have to remember too. Our words are so powerful. We got to be so careful how we speak to people, right? A lot of people still are really hurting. A lot of people really want to hurt themselves. I got people messaging me all the time, I'm grieving, I need some help, send me some prayers. And I'm like, you want me to send you prayers? Right? You look at me that way, like, so humbling for me, right? That's where I am right now. I'm in a place of growth. Like, wow, people love me. People hated me. I only had two sides. Oh, look, fuck, here she comes. Oh, good, she's leaving. Those are my two sides. So, Three of Cups. Again, this card always comes up in my readings. Celebrate yourself where you are right now. Even if you got out of bed this morning, celebrate that, right? Even if somebody reached out and you apologized to them and you made up your amends, celebrate that. That's something that it doesn't come easy. If it's really hard for you to do, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone to do something amazing. What I did for myself today, going to the doctor and finally admitting that this pain is driving me crazy, and I asked for what it is, and he's like, well, why didn't you tell me a long time ago? I'm like, well, I didn't ask. I thought you knew because you were a doctor. We always expect people to know more than us. A lot of us don't, right? We have to we have to put it out to the universe what we want, eh? Yeah, my hand is itchy. I should go to bingo. Sure. Another card I wanted to pull out here too. Nine of Cups. Despite everything that you're going through, all of these spirits of fear, betrayal, spirits of depression, spirits of, suicidal ideation, spirits of psychosis, spirits of all of this stuff, they weren't a part of you when you were born. That's not who we really are. These spirits are meant to come and sit with us to show us something. We are actually really happy, we are actually really, look for that happiness. Letting go of everything. Listening to those spirits, talking to them, respecting them, and allowing them to move on from you. Like, even smudging will let them move on. Putting, your smudge ashes outside your door. My hand is severely itchy. Sprinkling your smudge ashes outside your door. And then saying too, and this is a shamanic teaching, right? But I use this teaching too before people come to my house, right? Before I open the door. Only good spirits are allowed in here. Even my little office here. Only good spirits are allowed in here. Everything else has to go, right? So, I'm trying to squeeze this all into a real fast reading because I had so many messages that they gave to me, but some of these messages are meant for individuals as well too, right? So I'm not asking people to come and see me for readings, come and see only me. But if you have questions too, sometimes we get stuck thinking we have a stupid question, right? I don't think I should ask anybody. I shouldn't talk about this. This is why we offer tobacco. We take that tobacco and we have that word, big squeeze the monan. We tell that tobacco to speak for us and the energy that our words can't say itself. Even a tear will speak for you, right? Understand that tear is it's not a sign of weakness. That tear is actually, those tears are actually medicine. They're gifts to Creator because they actually will release substance from the body that doesn't work with you, right? Things that you just can't speak about, okay? So don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to offer that tobacco. And if you don't have tobacco, offer some sage, offer a little bit of sweetgrass, right? So, you know, just a little offering because there's an energy exchange for the things that you want in life too. So, hi Faith. So I had made an announcement. I'm just so nervous. I'm going to Northwest Territories on an airplane for the first time in my life, and I'm scared because, oh my God, what if it crashes? What if I'm on the only plane that crashes? Right? So, oh my God, I can't worry about that, but it's like passing thought. So I'm at a high energy level because, oh my God, I'm going to fly for the first time in my life and I'm 47 years old. So sorry if I'm talking too fast, but oh my God, I get overexcited. So yes, I'm going on an airplane. Please pray for me. One last card I want to pull before I end this too, because I always end up rambling. I just, don't tell everybody everything that's happening in your life. Nobody needs to know what you had for breakfast or, what you're doing today or what you're doing at 5:45 in the morning. Or you got to bring that back because that's also things that it's not the people that are preying on you. We can't be blaming people for gossiping about us. It's the spirits that they allow in when they're vulnerable that use them to try to bring you down. Does that make sense? Right? I can't hate so-and-so because she said this or they said that. That's none of my business. What we'll do though is bring my energy in, so I'm not going to entertain that spirit that's trying to bring me down. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you so much for joining my live. I got to get going, and yeah, we'll see you later.